So today we find ourselves on the Ramsey Prong and Greenbrier River, or Greenbrier Creek. The maps and some also refer to it as, I think, Middle Prong of the Little Pigeon River, or the Little Pigeon River. I think it has to do with cove names and just creek names and what the locals call it, but we refer to it as the Ramsey Prong and Greenbrier River, or Greenbrier Creek. Either way, it's a fun little run. As you'll quickly see, it's a small mountain creek, and there's lots of rocks and just lots of things to interact with. On this day, it was the water level was pretty low. I don't know that I really wanted a ton more water anyway. As you'll see, it's pretty vertical also, not ledges and drops, but just consistent kind of altitude or elevation loss. So just lots of putting your boat where it needs to be to miss rocks. Lots of scooching. I edited out a lot of the scooching actually, but it's it ended up being a pretty long video. I think this thing's almost 45 minutes long. Reason being, it's just a lot of beauty. So I'll probably be quiet during quite a bit of it, but I do think that folks will enjoy this. The river does pick up, so once the Ramsey Prong kind of feeds into what we're calling the Greenbrier River, it does have a little bit more water, and it's a little more flowy. Definitely not big flow, but not nearly as much rock interaction, and it's a little easy going. I really enjoyed this. I'd love to do it again. I'd love to have a little more water, but not a ton more. Just say this could be a pretty interesting run at definitely with another, I don't know, foot of water, or kind of double the CFS. I don't know exactly how these creek beds, how they channel out, but it was a great day. This was our third day week of rivers. Up to this point, I think we had done a house slap on the Nanahala. What was it? Tellico, the upper / ledges. Also the Middle Tellico. And then I believe we did the French Broad. The French Broad section 9 the next day. And met up with some folks coming from further east on the French Broad. And then this was our really kind of third or fourth day, depending on how you want to look at it, on the river. I think all kayakers, try to protect their shoulders, and I'm no different. I had an old shoulder injury probably like 20, 30 years ago, and tweaked it a little bit on this run. You'll see up here shortly, got upside down, and there's no depth to it. There's just really no room to roll. So I was trying to pry off the bottom, and got into more of a high brace scenario, and tweaked my shoulder a little bit. So it made kind of the rest of the rocky part of the run a little uncomfortable, but it was fun either way, and just beautiful. Just beautiful. I've mentioned others before, half the reason I record and kind of put the time into going back through these videos. One, I just really enjoy watching them again. These trips are 3-4 hours. I cut several hours out of it, but really I like remembering the times I spent with Connor and the guys. So you see Connor and I here. He's already developed into a far better paddler than I, and but we just enjoy these times together. We see here, we take out, there's a section, it's probably, I'm not really sure what class it's considered. It definitely was above my pay grade, and I think on this day, this particular section, none of us ran this. I think it was actually pretty bony to have been run, and I think had it had enough water to run, I wouldn't have wanted to run anyway. So we walk around it. I cut a good bit out of it. It's a beautiful section, I will say that. So we finally get all situated and put back in. It was a pretty good little walk around. Maybe 100 yards worth of white water. But you can see it's kind of choked up there. I'm sure there was a way through, but that many people, something was bound to happen with all of us, and it wasn't what we were looking for on that day. I know Trevor and Pete and Justin and some of those guys would have, had they been on their own, they might have run it. They probably would have gone up further on this section also and run it, but we just kind of chose not to. What you're seeing us do here is,
I was just pretending like there was none. Yeah. I was going to be blissfully ignorant and then be miserable the rest of the week.
You hear us talking about it. We walked through a ton of poison oak.
Probably miserable.
Walked right through it.
Yeah. Walked through a ton of poison ivy, and so Pete had recommended, and wisely so, that we get out and rinse as many of the oils off as we could. So I'm extremely allergic to that stuff. I got out. It was really refreshing, actually. That water feels so good. Washed all those oils off, and luckily, I don't think I really saw any after effects of it, but glad we thought to do that. You just see us continue to weave our way through here. At this point, it looks like we have picked up a little more water. Yeah, we circle up here. I think I only captured one person running this. I think it was Justin, but Trevor and Pete also ran it. There was a rock here at the end. You'll see Justin kind of flinch against it on his left, right there. We called it face smash rock, and this is actually a different rapid. It looks the same. It's not the same one. This is actually where I swam. 3 of us swam here. I think I only captured one of them, and then mine, of course. And you'll see, just kind of like at the bottom right of the screen, right there, where he almost flipped. I did flip, and that's where I got in trouble. This is James. I think James ran into issues. Just didn't quite make a turn there, and water grabbed his stern and flipped him, and then it's just a bumpy ride down. You'll see me here. Same rapid. Where we're standing was just up to the right. I get a little too far right, hit that boulder, I'm over, and I'm trying to brace off the bottom, and the boat's just dragging me. And then the boat actually pops off of me. I'm kind of glad it did. I didn't need any more force on my shoulder than I had. And there goes my boat. Also lost a shoe. See me looking for it. I've got some Astrals. They're like really low cuts, and they're extremely comfortable, but they do wash off pretty easy.
Why didn't you roll?
I was trying, and you know what? I actually didn't pull. I didn't pull. It just sucked the boat off of me. I mean,
The old suck the boat off me, huh?
well, listen.
Yeah, you hear me giving excuses there. It's frustrating because I really don't swim that often, and I have a good roll, and I have a pretty good mental attitude about rolling up, but that's a scenario I just wasn't going to roll up, and so it's frustrating. But I got my shoe back, got back on the water, and just kind of worked our way on down. So we're lined up here. You can see that's probably Justin or Pete up on a rock, just kind of giving us direction, and just a line that we need to hit there. Just pointing us to it. got a little bit of an undercut, so you want to get your face on that. Pete, Trevor lining us up, slowing us down, make sure we hit that so we don't end up in a pin scenario. So really did a good job of setting safety for us. See Connor there. You see me I'm in my brap on this day. I believe also, let's see, what other boat did I bring? I think I brought the RMX on this trip. And I think had I had my Hefe, I probably would have brought that. Because, you know, it's just a, I don't know, it's even a smoother boat. It's got a higher volume stern. And the brap really likes to be driven. So while this is actually not a horrible boat for this particular purpose, because it is narrow, it slides between rocks a good bit. Because it's got the lower volume stern, at times when you can't really help it, like this, you get caught up on a rock, and the water loads up your rear stern and kind of get your boat in positions you don't want it to be. So something like the Hefe Grande that I have would have been a bit better. I knew that we might be doing a Koi, or even the what else do we think about? Upper Nantahala, and the Nolichucky, which we did end up doing 2 days later. And so I brought my RMX, and because I just wanted a little bit higher performing boat than the Hefe Grande on those. Hefe served me really well the previous couple of years, but I wanted something, I wanted that higher performance creek boat for some of those other rivers. The RMX would have been too big for this, for me anyway. I think it would have been just too big a boat, and would have been even more trouble for me to kind of maneuver around all these rocks. Now, one of my favorite times on a river is just when it rains. I just think it's beautiful. Now, a small creek like this, you do want to be wary of it, flashing on you and getting too high. That really wasn't the case this day. I don't think the rain was widespread enough. We were keeping an eye on it. And we could certainly use some more water. But just the feel of the rain, particularly on a warm summer day, kind of that mountain, that fresh rain, and the sound of it on the water around you is just pretty amazing to me. I just really enjoy it. Had the opportunity, I think 2 or 3 years ago, to paddle was the Tellico, and we ended up with like a beautiful rain, but the sun was still out, and it just really made the day. I mean, well, I say that the day was made by the fact we were on a river, period, and it being the Tellico, but just add in that rain, and it really added to it. if you noticed, I kept moving left there. You know, Pete wasn't actually telling me to go left there, but I kept hearing him say left. What he meant was I need to go left right here. You'll see, I remember this distinctly. There's a little scenario right here just on the right I really didn't like. Looked like a high pin potential, and it was undercut. I think actually I would have landed where the water was coming out from under the undercut, so it's not a big deal, but I didn't want to be there, so I fought back around to the other way and you know, hit it on that far left side so it wouldn't even be in play. Again, probably nothing to worry about, but I didn't like what I saw, so just went around it. You'll see water's, you know, it's actually picking up a bit here. So, you know, much of the river was like this kind of from here on out.
What's that? Yeah. Woo.
I actually see Connor come by here. You know, I didn't get a ton of footage. I think I'd mentioned in a prior video we lost one of our GoPros. Well, it was damaged. It took on water about on a trip like 2 days prior to this. So we're back to one GoPro. Makes it a lot easier for me to edit, but I lose a lot of the footage that either one of us would have had. You know, either Connor of me or Connor of himself. So do try and catch him in here a little bit though. If I remember right, this bridge is kind of just above where Ramsey Prong, or the middle prong of the Little Pigeon River, comes into, I guess, the Greenbrier River, or the Little Pigeon River. And I think this is just a little bit above that. I'll get a better feel for it here in a second, but there might be another bridge further down, but it's pretty obvious when you come into it. The river, the I guess Little River or Greenbrier is moving in from the left to the right as you come into it. I can see where this little run with a good bit more water, the stretch here, would be an absolute blast. Just, you know, plenty of big boulders to eddy out behind it, but lots of gradient. A lot of times these videos, you get on these rivers and you really just don't see any gradient to it. These, it's just pretty constant. You can actually kind of see it here. Greenbrier River coming in down on just straight ahead, but moving left to right. It looks like the river kind of channelized a little bit there, so we lost some water in the channel. But you can see them both coming together, adds a good bit more water. Of course, now there's a lot more people just kind of playing, seeking just to cool off from the summer heat. And this river is it's gorgeous, and there's a lot of roadside to it at this point. And you can see the overall flow just picks right up. You see at this point the Greenbrier maintains a lot of the same verticality that the Ramsey Prong had. I mean, it's not exactly the same. Ramsey Prong was definitely a little more vertical than this, but you will see Greenbrier's picked up quite a bit more water, and just several branches coming in. You'll see a bit more flow. It's still technical. There's still lots of boulders and things to bounce off of, and but yeah, just a beautiful river. A lot of things to do here. See Connor come floating by here. Love sharing these experiences with him. Things that lots of kids don't really get to see. Of course, all my kids have had the opportunity to do this, but they all have their different things they like to do. For Connor, this is definitely his. Actually pretty proud of this move here. I made a little bit of an error. I'm not sure if I was trying to eddy, but got the bow of my boat stuck there. Pivoted around, really almost did a pivot turn. Leaned back, got my stern in the water, and pivot turned. So I was pretty proud of that. Recovered what could have been a pin, or at least an uncontrolled descent there. Give me take a deep breath. Yeah, it was kind of a hairy move there, but glad I pulled it off. See the river actually gets a little more vertical here again. Another few inches of water would have definitely helped here, but this is just fun. It's you have to stay kind of right in front of you a little bit, dodging rocks, watching out for your buddies. But it's a fun little stretch, really is. You'll see Pete remind me here, really focus on my boost stroke, leaning forward as I paddle through, not leaning back. I've developed a really bad habit of leaning back. If you've seen seen some other videos, his and mine from Tellico, Baby Falls, I lean back and penciled in, and so really been working on that. I've just developed a bad habit, and it just takes repetition to work it out. So anyway, it is what it is, and I'll keep working on it. I've mentioned several times how beautiful this river is. Just take a look at this still frame. Just the green trees, the consistent white water. Just takes a second to sit and take it in. But, just the sun was shining on this particular day. Just gorgeous. Just really mile after mile of it was this way. Sometimes more remote. Sometimes a little closer to people, but just gorgeous the whole way.
Hello.
So what river is this prior to?
What's that?
What river is this? Greenbrier?
Greenbrier now. It was Ramsey Creek, and then we had the Confluence right at that last bridge where you were talking to those people. And right about there, before that big rapid that you came down that they were standing below, that's when it became Greenbrier.
We're gonna be far right. Yeah, because there's a slide on the downside.
You hear James giving us some instruction there. I think we all followed it pretty well. Pretty good little slide or ledge there that we all took. See me go over a little lip here. I actually should have gone over far left where Steve was, but it's a little U-shaped lip. I imagine with more water, that might develop a little retentive hole. You see how it kind of kicked me right. But yeah, just a lot of little fun ledges here. See Connor paddle up beside me here. Always really enjoy watching him paddle. He's grown up the last, I guess, 4 years or so, really on the water, and so just watching him progress, just take it naturally, just his kind of outgoing spirit, the camaraderie of paddling, kind of a no fear attitude. He really is a joy to watch and paddle with. So in the midst of it, it looks like James has procured himself a floaty. And you hear Pete say something about it there. No more swims for James. Not real sure where he picked that up. Just found it odd that it was around him on the way through the rapid. We'll see if we get another glimpse of it here. Got Pete and Justin. Got Steve coming through. Trevor. Nice booth. I kind of forgot about this section. This is a nice little series of rapids. Steve's about to show us here just how easy it is to get tripped up on these low water rivers. He managed, he leaned into the rock, way into the rock, and then just leveraged back up or braced back up. But yeah, it was a good one. Glad to see him recover from that one. You'll see Pete here give the sign to eddy up. So that's just what I do. I try to get in the eddy actually just below where he is. But the water's low enough. There's not a real clean eddy. So there's not much to get into. see me kind of fighting it a bit. So I decided to try and get over behind this boulder in the middle, free up some room for some other folks. You'll see people kind of take this one different angles. I believe I took this one far right. I got a little zoom in of Connor here. He kind of pops right through the middle, rock spin. Oh, yeah, a little brace upstream. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go right. And what I found right was, I'll call it an undercut rock, but it's a rock slanting back up over the river. Technically it is undercut. It's not really of the dangerous sort at this level. But it did flip me over. And it was kind of a bumpy roll, but I managed and finished the rest of the rapid. You see water pushes me into it here, angled wrong. You might see some rocks float by, roll up, do another little like rear pivot turn there, save myself. Wasn't a thing of beauty, but I got out of it without a swim and no bumps or bruises.
I did. What's that? I went right, but I just missed the line. That was my fault.
I went left and I just cut.
What's that?
I went left and got bombarded with rock.
The only problem with stern stalls now is I get the song in my head.
That girl is on fire! And I asked him for his favorite song, he wouldn't give me a song. So we're trying to find a song, and Justin said, Alicia Keys, Girl on Fire. I was like, oh yeah. So I got in slow motion with sparkles in the air. That girl was on fire.
While we hit this rapid here, what Pete's talking about is Trevor surfed Frank Bell's rapid the previous day and did a great job of it, but when Pete made his video montage of it, he put it to what did he say her name was? Alicia Keys, This Girl's on Fire, with sparkles and pink and all kinds of stuff. So it was quite funny. Trevor's a great paddler, and I guess he was able to overcome the mockery, but it was a great video. Check it out on River Kings. Again, just another really pretty rapid. I definitely didn't nail my booth like I wanted to here. My booth struck too late. But I do take a pause here, just take a look back at this rapid. It's just beautiful, either direction. It's gorgeous. And it's just one example of many of these type features that we saw on this river. So just really love it. And this is one of the neat moments, one of my favorite moments. Just like to kind of rewind and watch it. Just coming in underneath the canopy of the trees, the cool air coming off the mountains. Just beautiful. Just different than other areas. You see the cobble bar there on the left, and just a really neat moment to remember. And then again, just another really neat moment coming in up here. You know, just this white water, and then you see the I guess a creek coming in over the the cobble bar there. I don't know whether it's just water that was diverted somewhere else on the river or it's coming through, but it actually distracted me, and my boat kind of went where my head went. I just really thought that was gorgeous, and you'll see it again come up here on the left. You know, I leave this little clip in. I, don't know that anyone will make it this far in the video, but I do make these for me. So I've got Connor in view here. Just take a minute to kind of watch him paddle and do his thing. Again, this is just cool class 1. I guess actually class 2 stuff since he has to maneuver. But it's just fun to have these memories of him and I paddling together. And then this is just another interesting feature of the river. I mean, all the water is just a few feet off the left bank. Imagine at higher flows it does something a little different, but just really neat. I love getting out here and seeing this stuff. See coming up here a golden opportunity to hit a booth. I think almost all of us missed it. James kind of went through. I just followed him, but if you look to the right, just right side of the screen there, just a wonderful opportunity for a booth. I knew I'd missed it, and just kind of paddled on through, safe route. I headed out. I actually wanted to see if anyone else would catch it. You can see it up there on the left of that larger kind of ledge rapid up there. Really hoping Pete or Justin or someone would catch it. I think they all passed it up, except for maybe Trevor. Pete missed it. Steve kind of blazes by it there. I think Trevor was the one person that kind of saw it. Well, actually, there's Justin. He pointed at it. And he's kicking himself there. Let's see if Trevor gets it. I'll try to. Of course, again, I was going to say I missed this one. I don't miss it. I just take a safe route and decide not to hit it. I really should have, though. Get a little hung up there.
Oh boy.
Landed in a good spot.
Oh, it almost wasn't.
we're kind of coming close to the takeout. We're not quite there yet, but I think this is the last rapid of any consequence. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did. I really enjoyed just going back through the footage. This was Ramsey Prong into the Greenbrier River, Greenbrier, Tennessee. Not to be mistaken with the one in West Virginia. But yeah, just really enjoyed this one. I definitely want to hit it again. I would do it again at this level. I'd prefer a little bit more water, but I think this is really the last rapid here. And you'll see us pull into the takeout here. It is a pretty narrow carry up the side of this road here, but not too bad. Here we are waiting on our shuttle to get back. And I'll just let you enjoy the sound of the rain. Hope y'all had as much fun as I did.
Almost to being almost dry.